Hey, English learners, welcome back to English You Never Learned.
The podcast where we help you speak English for real life, real conversations, and real confidence. I'm Leo.
And I'm Emma. Today's episode is for anyone who has ever traveled, or dreams of traveling, or even just took a small trip and wants to talk about it in English without freezing.
Because travel stories are everywhere. You meet someone new and they ask, "Where are you from? Have you traveled? What was it like?" And suddenly, your brain goes empty.
Or you know the story in your own language, but in English you can only say, "It was good, the food was good, everything was good."
And then the other person smiles politely and the conversation dies.
Today, we're going to fix that.
We'll help you talk about your travel experiences in English in a way that feels natural and interesting, without needing fancy vocabulary.
We'll give you easy story structure, useful phrases, and lots of examples. And we'll also talk about how to handle questions and how to describe feelings, not just facts.
Because the best travel stories are not just, "I went there." They're, "Something happened. I felt something. I learned something."
Also, quick reminder, if you enjoy the podcast, please like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who is learning English too.
Especially the friend who always says, "I'm going to travel someday," but is still on the couch.
Okay, let's start with a simple truth. Travel English is not only about airports and hotels, it's also about connection.
Yes. When you talk about travel, you're sharing your personality. What you notice, what you enjoy, what surprises you, what scares you, what makes you laugh.
So, first, we'll give you a simple travel story recipe. A structure you can use every time.
I love recipes.
Same. Okay, here it is. 5 parts. Very simple.
Part 1. Where and when.
Part 2. Why you went.
Part 3. What you did.
Part 4. A highlight or a problem.
Part 5. How you felt and what you learned.
If you can do those 5 things, your travel story will sound complete.
And you can do it in short form or long form.
Let's show a short example first.
Okay,
Last summer, I went to Los Angeles for a week because I wanted to visit a friend. We went to the beach, tried different food trucks, and drove around at night. My favorite moment was watching the sunset in Santa Monica. I felt relaxed and inspired, and I really want to go back.
that's it. That's a full travel story. Not perfect grammar, not fancy words, just clear.
Exactly. Now, let's teach the pieces one by one with real phrases you can reuse.
Starting with where and when.
Easy time phrases: last weekend, last month, 2 years ago, when I was in college, during the summer, over the holidays.
And place phrases, I went to, I traveled to, I visited, I spent a few days in.
Quick tip: travel to is often for the journey or the trip in general. Visit is more like you go there and see things.
Like, I traveled to Japan. I visited Tokyo and Kyoto.
Yes. Now, the second part, why you went.
This is where you add meaning. Reasons are easy. For work, for vacation, to relax, to explore, to see family, to attend a wedding, to meet online friends in real life.
And you can say, I went there because, or the main reason was, or I've always wanted to.
Example, I went to Chicago because I wanted to see the architecture. Or, the main reason was food. I wanted deep dish pizza.
Honest travel motivation.
Now, the third part, what you did.
You can keep it simple with 3 verbs. I tried, I visited, I explored.
Also, I walked around. I checked out. I took a tour. I went hiking. I went sightseeing. I took a lot of photos. I got lost.
I got lost is a very real travel sentence.
And it's often the beginning of the best story.
Now, to make your English sound more natural, add small details, not a long list, just 2 or 3.
Like, I visited a small market. I tried a spicy noodle soup. I took a boat ride at night.
Perfect. Now, the fourth part is the fun part, a highlight or a problem.
Let's start with highlights. Phrases, the best part was, my favorite moment was, the highlight of the trip was.
Or, one thing I'll never forget is.
That's a good one. Very story-like.
Now for problems. Because problems make stories human. Phrases. Something unexpected happened. I had a small problem. It didn't go as planned. At first, it was difficult because
Also, I made a mistake. I misunderstood something. I got confused. I missed my train. My phone died. It started raining. I lost my wallet. I couldn't find my hotel.
we don't want that to happen to listeners, but it makes a good story.
True. And you don't have to share a dramatic problem. Even a small challenge is enough.
Like, I ordered food and I accidentally got the spiciest thing on the menu.
That's classic.
Okay, now the fifth part. Feelings and learning.
This is where learners struggle. They can say facts, but not feelings.
So let's give them an emotion menu. Simple emotion words that work everywhere. Excited, nervous, surprised, relieved, proud, comfortable, homesick, overwhelmed, curious, grateful.
And for learning, I realized that. I learned that. It taught me. It made me appreciate.
Example, I felt nervous at first, but then I got more comfortable. I realized I can handle more than I think.
That's powerful and relatable.
Okay, now let's do something practical. Let's pretend a listener is talking to someone and they ask, "How was your trip?"
The listener needs a quick answer, not a long speech.
Yes. So we'll give 3 levels: short, medium, and story.
Level 1, short. It was great. I ate amazing food and relaxed a lot.
Level 2, medium. It was great. I went for 3 days, visited a few places, and the highlight was a night market. I'd love to go again.
Level 3, story. It was great overall, but something funny happened.
Great. Learners can choose the level based on the situation.
Now, I want to share a personal travel story, but with learner-friendly English.
Do it.
Okay, 2 years ago, I took a solo trip to a city I had never visited before. I was excited, but also nervous because I didn't know anyone there.
Solo travel can feel brave.
On the first day, I planned everything. I had a list: museum, coffee shop, a famous street, dinner.
The perfect plan.
The problem was, my plan made me stressed. I was rushing. I was checking my phone every minute, like, okay, next place, next place.
That's so real. Sometimes travel becomes homework.
Exactly. Then something happened. I walked into a small bookstore to just look, and I ended up staying there for almost 2 hours.
2 hours? In a bookstore?
Yes. It was quiet. The owner was friendly. There was a cat sleeping on a chair. I felt calm for the first time that day.
That sounds like a movie scene.
And I realized something simple. Travel is not only about seeing places, it's also about feeling a place.
I love that line. Feeling a place.
After that, I stopped rushing. I walked slower. I ate without looking at my phone. I watched people. I listened to street sounds. I felt more present.
That's a beautiful travel lesson. And also a life lesson.
Yes. And language learners can talk about lessons like this. It makes your story deeper.
Okay, my turn. I'll share a story too.
Let's hear it.
I once took a trip with a friend and we had very different travel styles.
Ooh-oh.
My friend loved waking up early and doing 10 things in one day. I loved slow mornings and long breakfasts.
That's a classic conflict.
On the second day, we had a small argument. Not big, but tense. We both felt annoyed.
What happened next?
We decided to split for a few hours. They went to a museum. I went to a small cafe and wrote in my notebook.
That sounds peaceful.
Later, we met again and we talked. And we realized we didn't need to do everything together.
That's an important travel skill.
Yes. After that, the trip got much better. We made a simple plan. One activity together, one activity separate, then dinner together.
That's smart.
And my travel lesson was, good travel is not about controlling everything. It's about communicating and respecting differences.
Wow. That's a mature lesson.
And it's also something you can share in English with simple words. We had different styles. We talked. We found a balance.
Exactly. You don't need advanced vocabulary to tell a meaningful story.
Now, let's help listeners describe different parts of travel that people always ask about: food, people, and culture.
Food first, because food is universal.
Basic food phrases: I tried, I loved, I wasn't a fan of, it was too spicy, it was surprisingly good, the portions were huge.
Also, the street food was amazing. I tried a local specialty. I went to a small, family-run place.
And if you want to sound natural, you can say, I'm still thinking about that meal.
That's a strong compliment.
Now, people. How do you describe the people you met?
Simple. People were really friendly. Strangers helped me. I met someone who...
Or, I had a great conversation with.
You can also say, at first I felt shy, but then I started talking more.
Very relatable for language learners.
Now, culture and vibe. This is hard for learners because it's abstract.
Use simple words. The city felt. The vibe was. It was lively. It was calm. It was busy. It was peaceful. It felt safe. It felt creative.
And compare it to something you know. It reminded me of. It felt different from my hometown because...
Comparison is powerful. Even if your grammar isn't perfect, the idea is clear.
Okay, now let's teach learners how to handle follow-up questions. Because when you tell a travel story, people ask more.
Common follow-up questions. What did you like the most? Would you go back? What surprised you? What was difficult? What was your favorite food? Did you meet anyone interesting?
And if you don't know the exact word, you can stall naturally.
Yes, learners need thinking phrases. Like, let me think. That's a good question. How can I explain this? I'm not sure how to say it, but...
These phrases give your brain time, and they make you sound natural, not silent.
Another important skill, describing photos. Because people show travel photos.
True. You can say, this was taken in, this is the view from, this is a local market. This was my favorite place.
And emotions. I felt so happy here. I was tired but proud.
Now, I want to talk about one common mistake learners make when talking about travel in English.
Let's hear it.
They try to be too perfect. They try to remember the exact grammar rules while telling a story.
Yes. And then the story dies.
Exactly. Travel stories should flow. The goal is communication, not perfect grammar.
If you forget a word, use a simpler word. Or describe it.
Like, if you forget waterfall, you can say, a big wall of water.
That's actually a fun description.
Or, if you forget souvenir, you can say, a small gift I bought to remember the trip.
Great. Now, we should give listeners a simple practice exercise they can do alone.
Yes. Here's the exercise. Record a 1-minute travel story using the 5-part recipe.
Where and when, why, what you did, highlight or problem, feelings and learning.
Exactly. 1 minute is enough. Then listen back.
And then try again the next day, but make it smoother.
And if you haven't traveled, you can talk about a day trip, a visit to another city, or even a travel dream.
Yes. I want to go to, I've always wanted to. If I go someday, I want to.
Dreams are great conversation too.
Okay, let's do a quick example for someone who hasn't traveled much.
Sure.
I haven't traveled abroad yet, but last month I visited a nearby city for 2 days. I went because I wanted a break and I love trying new cafes. I walked around downtown, visited a museum, and tried a local dessert. The highlight was finding a quiet street with small bookstores. I felt relaxed, and it reminded me that small trips can still feel special.
That's perfect. And it's not big travel, but it's a real story.
Exactly. Your story matters.
Now, before we end, let's give listeners a travel vocabulary boost, but simple and useful.
Words for describing places: crowded, quiet, touristy, local, modern, historic, scenic, walkable.
Walkable is a great word. It means you can walk easily.
Words for describing experiences: memorable, worth it, overrated, unexpected, stressful, smooth.
Overrated is useful when something is popular, but you didn't like it.
Words for describing transportation: I took the subway, I rented a car, I caught a train, I missed my bus. I booked a flight.
And quick phrases. On the way there. When I arrived. By the end of the trip.
Those phrases help your story feel organized.
Okay, let's wrap up with a challenge for the listeners.
Your challenge. Tell one travel story in English this week.
1 minute. Record it on your phone.
Or tell it to a friend. Or write it in the comments.
And include one feeling and one lesson. Not just facts.
Because that's what makes it you.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who wants to speak English more confidently.
And tell us in the comments, where did you travel recently or where do you dream of going?
This was English You Never Learned with Emma and Leo.
Until next time, keep speaking, stay curious, and share your stories.
Bye.